Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome to Robbo Land's Vids. My name is Rob Wheatley and I'm back. I'm back after about a year and a half of not making a video. But I have a good excuse and I'm going to talk about that in this video. Hopefully this video is going to be in 3 sections, all going well. First section will be, well, 4 actually, because the first section is me telling you what the following 3 sections are. Confused? I am. The second section, which is coming up any second now, is me telling you why and where I've been, why I haven't been here, where I've been. 3 is going to be talking about some of these things I have behind me, some of the new kit, because as you'll hear in section 2, I think I deserve to treat myself quite a bit. 4 times. Once, twice, 3 times a lady, 4 times. Your guess is as good as mine, isn't it, really? And after that, hopefully there'll be a Looper Jam if there's still time and I've still got any energy left. Good. So, welcome back to Robbo Land's Vids. I did a video the other day just previewing some odds and sods and some weird noises, saying I'll be back and explaining things. So, first of all, before we start, I'll give you the good news. I'm better. All right, things are okay. Good. Bear that in mind when I go through the rest of it, so don't panic and don't, you know. Okay, where have I been? In a word, cancer. There you go. Thanks very much. Good evening. No, yeah, 2023. I went and got myself a PSA test after my mother had been nagging me and my brother in a nice way. Well, I'll get a PSA test for quite some time. My dad had bladder cancer for quite a while, and he eventually beat it, so he thought. He went into remission and all was very, very well. He eventually then had a number of strokes which really sort of weakened him and the cancer came back, and long story short, he died in 2020. Love your dad, miss your dad. But my mum had noticed when she was in and out of the hospitals with my dad, the amount of young men, you know, in their 50s and whatever, that were in there for prostate cancer, and how many of them were getting the spiel from the hospital. If if only you'd got tested earlier, then we could have sorted this. My doctor told me that, well, first of all, she told me to bend over and think of England, but that's another story. Bumfinger, the worst of the James Bond films. I can't watch that one anymore. Anyway, don't worry about that. That's not important. It was at the time, but it's not now. 1 in 2 of us will get cancer of some sort, but at the same time, prostate cancer is the most curable of all of them. But with all forms of cancer, it's about getting tested early and catching it before it spreads into other things. Okay, so without being overly dramatic, this could be the most important video you ever watch, and this video could save your life. All right, so please listen to this bit and then we'll piss about and do all the other stupid stuff afterwards. But yeah, so after being nagged, I put it off and put it off and put it off, and eventually got myself a PSA test. I think I started this process in about July or August 2023. I thought I was going for a PSA test. Unfortunately, my doctor had different ideas. As I say, worst James Bond film I've ever seen. Bumfinger, terrible villain. Anyway, it's not important. It was at the time. A year on, it really isn't. But they found something they didn't like. I'm not surprised. She had her finger up my bum. What did she expect to find? Anyway, but from that, they then did the PSA test, which is a blood test. PSA stands for prostate specific antigen. And it's not it's a basically indicator of the size of your prostate in relation to what else is going on around him. Around my age, which would be 55 to 60 at the time, my PSA level should have been about 2.75. By the time you hit 60, 65, maybe 3, and when 75, maybe 3.25. Mine came out at 9.2, so obviously pushing 3 times what it should have been. That warranted further investigation, so they sent me for an MRI scan. That showed nastiness going on, so they sent me for a biopsy, and that showed cancer. So at that point I was offered a choice of treatments, radiotherapy and hormone treatment, or surgery. The choice was mine. I had 2 weeks to make the choice. I went for surgery, and almost exactly a year ago today is the 21st of January 25. So I went into hospital on the 24th of January 24, and I had my prostate removed, ripped out, stamped on, set fire to, thrown into a bin. Okay. Since then, 3 months after that, so my PSA was 9.2. 3 months after that, they remeasured it. It was 0.1. 3 months after that, they remeasured it again. It was 0.02. And on New Year's Eve 2024, I had it measured again, and it came in at less than 0.01, which they record officially as unrecordable. So that's the fantastic news I had at the beginning of this year. It couldn't have been a better start to the new year. By all intents and purposes, it's gone. I'm not naive enough to think that cancer never comes back, but for the moment, it looks like it's been a complete success, and happy bloody days. Was it a traumatic experience? There were certain elements of trauma, you know, putting things in and things out and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, a year later, none of that really crosses my mind. In fact, the most traumatic thing from all of that experience was the bloody hospital food. I mean, how could someone do that to a dinner? I didn't know whether to eat it or have it entered for the Turner Art Prize. You know what I mean? It's like Tracy Emin's unmade bed's got nothing on what the fuck was on that plate. Anyway, sorry language, but you know, I've got cancer on that, so I like. How do they do that to a plate of food? I've worked in a professional kitchen for 6 years, you know. I don't know how they did that. It was a sausage hot pot, right? And that was after I had my prostate sorted out. So, but my sausage was in a much better state than the one on that effing plate, I tell you. How did they do that? You had sausage, right? It's not important on the scale of things, but this is the most traumatic thing of the whole year. This is what I'm trying to get across to you, right? Sausage hot pot, sausage in tomato sauce with some beans and things, and then sliced potatoes on top. So what did they serve it with? More potato, mashed potato, what? And then you got baked beans, and then so you decided about broccoli and cauliflower, which are basically the same thing, just a different colour. But somehow they managed to overcook the broccoli to the point where it was near soup, and undercook the cauliflower to the point where you could scrape a diamond against it and break the bloody diamond. How do they do that? Sadism should be outlawed in this country. But the long and short of it is, that's the most traumatic thing of the whole experience. I'm alive, and it's all about catching these things early. So whether you have symptoms or not, I did have symptoms, but I didn't know that they were symptoms, or I was kidding myself that they weren't symptoms. They weren't massive symptoms, but there was something slightly wrong going on down in the front bottom department, if you know what I mean. Definitely in the sausage department, as far as the hospital goes, there's something seriously wrong with that, and that needs removing and throwing into a bin as well. Never to be seen again. Anyway, so long and short of it is, I had prostate cancer. I decided that I was going to have to shut down and just focus on getting this body from here to the hospital as and when I needed to. I suffer from agoraphobia and social anxiety, so even just getting on a train and travelling like 8 minutes across town is really quite a big thing for me. So that's why I shut down off YouTube. I shut down pretty much everything. I carried on working for as long as I could. Work were fantastic. The staff at the hospital, Colchester General Hospital in Colchester in Essex here in the UK, were absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely unbelievably phenomenal. Without hesitation, they made the whole experience just 100,000 times better than it could have been. No exaggeration, 200,000 would be an exaggeration, so 175,000 times, a lot better. They're absolutely incredible. For all the flack the NHS, the National Health Service, gets over here when they need to get into action, my God, unbelievable. So thank you so much. If you're a part of the NHS or you know someone that is, give them a hug from me, you know, and just say, what the fuck happened to that sausage? Not mine personally, I know it's happened to that, and that's a different story. Yeah, so that's it. Tell someone if they're in their 50s, nag the crap out of them to get tested. Go and get a PSA test. It could save your life, all right? Not only that, the best thing of the whole experience is this. Look what I got. Urgent. I have a medical condition. That means I need to use a toilet quickly. Please, can you help? I don't know how someone's living. Rob Wheatley, prostate cancer. I need to use your toilet. Can you help? Yes, just hold your hands like that, and I just won't be a minute, like, you know. Anyway, that's that. All right, that's the serious stuff. If you know, please feel free to comment underneath if there's anything you want to discuss. Obviously, it's a public forum. You can message me on Twitter at Robboland. I know it's not the greatest thing on the planet, but you can message me over there if you want to chat about something. Is there anything I can help you with, or just want to talk to someone? But please, please, please go and get yourselves checked. One of my best friends at the time I was getting diagnosed, died of cancer, not prostate cancer, but another form of cancer. And talking to someone, he'd had symptoms for a couple of years before and hadn't got himself checked out in time. By the time he did, it was far too late, and we lost him around the same time that I was getting diagnosed. It's absolute tragedy. You know, no one likes needles, no one's like hospitals and all that sort of stuff, but the thing I kept telling myself for the whole time is it's better than dying. And I'm still here. Dave's still here. McCallum, the invisible pineapple. And cheers. If you want me to talk more about this in a future video or whatever, then please, you know, mention it down and I'll get onto it. But that's it for now. All right, I'm better. I'm feeling good. I'm back working, and I'm off the anxiety medication which I went on last year, and getting my energy back. Cheers. Now, so there are good things to come out of that. First of all, urgent. I have a medical condition that means you need to use a toilet. Can you help? Screenshot. What do you mean no? What do you mean no? Look, I've heard a medical condition. But the good things can come out of this. One of the good things that came out of it was I lying in bed going, oh, I'm feeling a bit cancery. I need to treat myself. So I did. Look. I bought myself a whole bunch of toys, essential pieces of musical equipment. I'm not going to review these now. I'm just going to, you know, point at them and show you what they are, and we'll be doing reviews on these in my normal fashion in upcoming videos. But I just want to show you some of the kit I've got. First of all, I bought this, which is a really unusual guitar. It's a B and G. You can see there, B and G. Crossroads series, stepsister, P90. What a guitar. What a flipping guitar. Best neck on any guitar I've ever played. Sounds fantastic, really light, really comfortable, plays like an absolute dream, sounds incredible. And I liked it so much that I bought one of these. This, a bit heavier. It's the B and G Little Sister P90 non-cutaway. Look at this for a quirky piece of business, eh? There are subtle differences. This is slightly thicker. It's quite a bit heavier. The neck is a little bit chunkier. It's got the slotted headstock, obviously no cutaway, but also where the fretboard joins where the neck joins the body. This joins at the 14th fret. That one joins at the 16th. So effectively it sort of moves the pickups up in relation to where you pick, and so it gives a slightly different sound. But I also like the fact that this does give sort of restrictions in terms of not being able to get to all the twiddly bits up here, so it makes you rethink how you voice things and stuff like that. Again, absolutely phenomenal guitar. I love the first one so much I sought out one of these and got one of these. Right now these are like hen's teeth. They're very, very difficult to find. The Crossroads series, there are a few private builds and custom ones around. I paid just under 800 for the stepsister. I paid, I think, just over $950 for this one, second hand, both second hand. New, they go for about 1,500, 1,500. Then you've got the private build, which are hand built, and they're, I think, new. Second hand, they're going for around 2,000 to 3,000. Then you've got the custom ones, which are nearest sort of 4,500, 5,000. But freaking amazing guitars. I am going to buy another one at some point. I'm going to buy probably another stepsister with humbuckers at some point. But at the moment, there are none, and I've got enough toys to play with. So those are two of the weird guitars I've got. Are they not weird enough for you? Are they not weird enough for you? Well, what about one of these? This is the Dan Electro. What else do you think it is? A Dan Electro? Of course it's a Dan Electro. Look at the thing. Dan Electro Longhorn baritone guitar. Hello, hello. This is ridiculous. Which is why I bought it. It weighs, well, absolutely nothing. It weighs something, but it's just flipping ridiculous. Sounds amazing. I love these pickups. Obviously, Dan Electros are not for everybody. It's you know, quite stylistic looking. It's ridiculous. fantastic. I actually have a Longhorn bass as well that my great friends Blaze and Claire bought for me for my 50th birthday. So I've had that almost 10 years now. But this thing, yeah, we're going to do something with that at some point. And then more recently, just because, you know, I needed to treat myself, I bought myself this one, which is the PRS SE McCarthy 594 stained. So it's all mahogany as opposed to mahogany with a maple cap. Does it sound different to the maple cap one? Does tone wood? Is it tone wood? Is what wood is it? All I can say on that is I watched a video where a guy had one of these and he had one of the ones with the maple cap on, and he plugged them into an amp one after another and played them, and there was a slight difference in the sound. What? The maple one sounded a little bit more spanky. Was it the way he was holding the pick? Was it just the weather? Was it the strings? Was it the string? I don't know, but it just did. All right, so that's that. Good. Bloody wonderful guitar. It's got the 8515s, no, Super 58s, no, 58 15s. Is it? I can't remember. But the difference between this and my hollow body 2 piezo is the same pickups, but this you can split the pickups individually. Wow! And this is fantastic. Nice chunky neck on it. All the other business. Awesome. Now, I'm not going to play guitar on this one. I'm going to do that on the next one because we're coming up to... In fact, shall I? Yes, sorry, I am going to play some guitar on this briefly. All right. I'll just show you a couple of other bits that I've got. All right. Won't be a second. Oh, right. This I just bought. Tascam DP008. They also do a DP008EX, which is exactly the same device but slightly different upgraded software. But this is an 8-track multi-track recorder. Absolutely brilliant little thing. And you can see on the front, these little holes there, they are not exhaust pipes, they are condenser microphones. But are they any good, Robbo? Yes! They're surprisingly damn good. I recorded myself and a mate jamming the other week and just chucked this on the floor between our 2 amps, and it's no Neumann U87, you know. It's not a 7,000 quid microphone, but is it adequate to do some fun, have some fun with? Brilliant. Is there a lot of menu diving on this? Absolutely bloody not. It's not designed by Boss, it's by Tascam. Dead simple to use. Weighs less than the phono cables I bought to go with it. I paid 145 quid second hand for this. This is great. This is probably what if I do a looper jam on the end of this, I'm going to chuck this on the floor in front of the amp, and that's what I'm going to use to record it with. All right, so more on this later. That's not all, because also I got, oh god, hang on, let's go over here. Blimey. Dun 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 dun. Oh god, here we go. A Roland Jazz Chorus Roland JC22 amp. Bloody awesome. Bloody awesome. I like my Roland stuff. This is the king of the cleans, you know. Stereo, 30 watt. Sounds incredible. And for me, having a dead clean amp that, don't know what I'm doing, doesn't break up is really important, because I like to play with loopers. And if I'm stacking loops and chucking them into the front of an amp, what I don't want is the amp breaking up and going into overdrive. I'd rather do that on the floor before I go into the amp. So this thing, absolutely brilliant. I'm blown away by how good this sounds. That cost me, I think it was less than 500. I think it was like 4 something, or around 4 something, 500. Phenomenal piece of kit. And obviously, if you saw the last video, I just got the Hologram Electronics Infinite Jets pedal, which, if you don't know what that is, look at the previous video I've just done. I still don't know what it is, but it sounds damn good. All right, that's it. I'm going to call it a day on this video, other than to do a short little looper, shall we? A short little looper jam. Yeah, why not? I'm trying to keep it under 20-25 minutes. But just say thank you for watching. I will be back very soon to do feature videos on each of these things. And remember, it's urgent. I have a medical condition. I need to use your toilet now. Looper jam coming up. Cheers.